Stealing the family of your teammates? An altercation so large that it nearly caused Twitter to blow up? Whoa, these football players despise one another. And watch to discover the one person Messi has ever disparaged on live television. But first, there's Ronaldo, this legend who despises him, and the other half of the GOATs. As everyone is aware, Ronaldo began his career at Manchester United before turning into a monster at Real Madrid. It could have been different, but this is when things start to become insane. Barcelona was interested in signing Ronaldo back in 2009. When they received the news, some of the Barca players, notably Xavi, were already giving Ronaldo a hard time. Ronaldo is the greatest player in the world, second only to Lionel Messi. He actually has more effect in the game than Leo does. Xavi stated this, but sadly for him and the Barcelona supporters, Ronaldo decided for Madrid. Furthermore, it's likely that Xavi never really forgiven Ronaldo for this, because he made two statements disparaging Ronaldo 8 years later. Football-savvy people will choose Messi. Things worsen. A product of his era, Ronaldo is a player. The issue is that another player has been arguably the greatest in history. Indeed, the distinction was that Ronaldo wasn't going to merely watch this time. He retaliated. I have won 3 Ballon d'Ors, while Xavi has not. It's quite certain that these two will not be exchanging Christmas invitations after this entire episode. It's possible that these two were picking their remarks carefully. However, there was a full-on brawl between Neymar and Álvaro González. One of the most important matches in the game was between Neymar and Álvaro González in 2020, when PSG played Marseille. Marseille seized the lead and PSG was making every effort to equalize as time was running out. Neymar realized González was all over him when he felt a tug in the back. He ran down to check for the foul, the referee said no, and things went haywire. 5 red cards, another altercation. And this wasn't even the main event because Neymar had accused González of using derogatory language on, as you can see. González denied everything right once and accused Neymar of attempting to purchase and so it was tack when these two sides faced one another again in the 2021 French Cup Final 2. When PSG triumphed this time, Neymar couldn't help but take to social media to subtly disparage Gonz. King Álvaro, that González guy, nevertheless, is as rough as nails. In response, he posted a picture of himself fouling Neymar along with this insane tweet: "Me parents have always instructed me to remove the trash." Ouch. Now this should have ended the entire episode, but González still had one more epic comeback he knew would get to Neymar. So he posted a picture of Biel and dropped this: "The eternal shadow of the king. Not gonna lie, that one looks like a god to me. But he isn't the Samba King for no reason." And to end this conversation once and for all, he dropped the final assault: "And yours in my shadow. I made you famous. You're welcome." The end, man. Game over. Sometimes I guess actions speak louder than words. But don't take it from me, just ask Patrice Evra. 15th October 2011. Liverpool vs Man United in a heated game. And right in the thick of the action, Patrice Evra lost it. See guys, Evra accused Suarez of using racist language on him. And when the FA got involved, they realized Evra wasn't capping and banned Suarez for 8 games. Hope those Turkish dudes see this. Anyways, Suarez still denied the whole thing. And by the time he returned to face Evra and United again, well, just look at this. Now I don't think you need a genie to know, there was serious beef going on with these guys. And at the end of the game, with United coming out on top, Evra won and made sure to rub it in Suarez's face. Literally. Yikes. I've seen ballers fight over deep stuff like racism and insults to the game. But these next dudes, well, they were clashing over chicks. Kevin De Bruyne and Thibaut Courtois have been teammates on the national team for over 10 years. But here's the shocking news: they don't speak to each other. See guys, the reason for that is that back in 2014, the news broke out that De Bruyne's girlfriend at the time, Caroline Linen, was cheating on him with one of his teammates. De Bruyne later found out that the dude in question was Thibaut Courtois, the national team goalie. The issue was so crazy that it was even reported serious fighting began building up in the Belgian national team camp, and the coach even had to get involved just to settle the whole thing. Pretty sure the reason KDB was that pissed was because of this iconic statement Caroline made. Thibaut gave me in that one night what I'd sort of missed in 3 years with Kevin. The context of this is just mind-blowing. Fast forward to the present day, and they're still both on the national team and still don't talk to each other. They've met at club level multiple times after that. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks like De Bruyne goes extra on celebrations when he dunks one over Courtois. and it's hard not to guess why. But these two dudes aren't the first dudes to fight over a woman. Mauro Icardi and his teammate was even worse. Icardi and Maxi Lopez were teammates at Sampdoria, and because they were both from Argentina, they hooked up as buddies easily. See, Maxi's the older guy, and he was married to Wanda Nara and even had 3 kids with her. But he took Icardi like a kid bro and even invited him over to family dinner just so he could get comfortable at his new club. But let's just say Icardi got too comfortable because months later, a huge scandal was threatening to tear the club into pieces, and it was between these two. Icardi was hooking up with Wanda, Lopez's wife. Icardi came out to say that while he was a friend of the couple, they split up and he had nothing to do with that. So when he found out Wanda was single, he fell in love. Yo Mauro, this one isn't adding up, man, and the dude took it too far. I mean, he even tattooed Wanda's face on his arm. And when Wanda divorced Maxi Lopez and took her kids with her, they all went to live with Icardi. Nah, you can't make this stuff up even if you tried. I'm having a hard time trying to process all this. Icardi and Lopes definitely do not like each other. Ain't no way he's shaking his hand after that. Maybe it's an Argentine thing to refuse handshakes when you're pissed, but you'd really need to have done something crazy to become the only guy Messi publicly trash talks. Argentina versus the Netherlands in the 2022 World Cup quarterfinal was insane. The game ended 3-3 after extra time, and Argentina won the match on penalties. But this doesn't even tell half the story. See, Messi got into a fight with some of the Dutch players, and he was very angry with one of them in particular, Wout Weghorst. After the game, Messi was speaking about the match to the media when he caught sight of Weghorst waiting to see him in the tunnel. He could have simply declined to meet the man and called it quits while Weghorst was staring at him. However, Messi produced a crazy scene while the camera was still in place. Never in my life have I witnessed Messi that furious. Weghorst claimed that Leo wouldn't allow him to speak with Messi. For Messi, man, that World Cup edition was unique. It wasn't only because he was the winner either. Another hater who also happened to be his new teammate was silenced by him. Yes, this is how it transpired. Messi took over everything when he first joined PSG in 2021 and quickly established himself as the team's new face. Stores sold the most jerseys bearing his name, and advertisements featured his pictures. The only issue with this was that this man lost his kingdom when Messi became the new king of Paris. Mbappé. See, prior to Messi's arrival, Mbappé served as the club's spokesperson. Being second fiddle now that Leo was in town didn't sit well with him. Now, Mbappé made an effort to downplay it and seem as though he and Lay were getting along well. However, it was no longer possible to contain it during a match against Montpellier. Mbappé went one step further and shaded Messi's entire continent, as if that wasn't enough. Football is not as developed in South America as it is in Europe. This explains why Europeans consistently win the World Cups. Many Argentinians, as well as some Brazilians, raised their voices. Messi, however, made the decision to speak on the field. Since his Argentine team defeated Mbappe's France in the World Cup final, a few months later Messi and Mbappé were the main stars of the match, with Messi scoring 2 goals and Mbappé scoring 3K. Messi still possessed enough sucker punch, though, to deliver the final blow. That's your reaction. He is legendary.